Welcome to another podcast. Today I guess gonna be the host because Teresa is on vacation, so no Teresa today. But we have special host AIKADO. What's up, AIKADO?
What's up, gamers? Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming
Definitely
in.
our first pick. Our first pick as a guest.
It was I guess it wasn't the first pick, but it was like second pick, I guess. But
Yeah, given the opportunity, who would you have preferred beyond?
we cannot
no
talk
comment.
about that.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay, we can't talk about who you reached out to first. No, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
We actually cannot, but it's fine. So we are doing a bit of the reset. We just got patched today. Have you been playing AIKADO? Have you been playing? Did you play something?
Today I have
Mm.
played 0 games. I
Okay.
have been
Fuck.
bouncing back and forth between streams, trying to see, what people are playing, what's good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Really?
it's something out there. It's the Wild West.
Yeah, I've also played 0 games because I've been busy all day. And also ranks down. I don't really care about not playing ranked unless I'm scrimming with people, and most people are either like also busy or streaming nonsense fun decks to get their YouTube content. So
Honestly, I was
How about you,
grinding.
BaJAtak?
I was grinding a lot, but I was mostly grinding standard because there's still Aegis League happening, and and the decks are due tomorrow. So it's like
Wait, how do you feel about standard?
I was saying some decks. I think the meta gonna change a lot. That's the definite thing that we have to be thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, two decks got like really hit. I mean,
yeah.
but there's one that didn't, right?
There's one deck that didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Karma said, of course. But I know.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's
it's the
I mean,
most
don't you
obvious.
just-
Like we don't have to be like sugarcoating it or something. And like being
Aatrox
like,
also didn't get nerfed. Can't you just play Aatrox again?
yeah. I mean,
sure,
Because
but
there's
like,
there's no champion strength decks running around, and there's no monkeys running around, so you just like play Aatrox like you did before. Like to me, all that happened was we kind of just like went backwards to the very first open we had, minus Samira Fizz.
I
yeah,
guess.
Aatrox is definitely good, but I think that the issue is, what people won't tell you, what Karma players won't tell you, is that it doesn't actually lose to Aatrox that hard.
Yeah.
And like the matchup is like super fucking playable, especially since like Aatrox has like so many unplayable hands. If you're into playing like an assload of pressure, like one all out or one palm, just like, or not all out of tag out, just like completely wins the game for Karma. Like I think there's one very, very, very good deck and then some, pretty good decks.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So there's one deck that got like a new tool. But we can
Oh
we
yeah,
can like
new
talk
cards. I
about the
haven't
new
thought
cards
about the new
later.
cards in
I
the
guess
context of like standard.
I guess we can maybe start with that maybe because like we haven't played much. I played kind of a lot on I played also on something on Eternal even, and I think Timelines is pretty stupid.
That's
think
what I've heard. I've heard Timelines is really fucking good. I've heard
Yeah.
it's a lot. Like I also said, I was like, oh yeah, Timelines is gonna be good. Like it was good pre-patch. It's gonna be good now. But like people are telling me that Timelines is like really, really good. Which
Yeah.
I don't really care what anyone says is good right now because people are playing against literal iron players. So like
Yeah.
your results are extremely varied. But it's good to know that it's at least
it
doing
feels
what
strong.
it's supposed to do.
It feels strong, and especially you have now. That's something I even didn't think about. Like people are talking about the new Formana Manifest epic card, but you have clockring now. So if you don't get timelines, you can just clock into it, and like actually the deck I think feels more consistent. It feels better, but of course also other decks feel better. I haven't seen much of Poppy yet or like Plaza yet. And I think though timeline should be good in that matchup, so that's something that you definitely can capitalize on and like be good.
It's cool. It's cool that you have timelines back, but it wasn't the big issue with timelines that you play one card per turn. And do you know what got like fucking buffed and is crazy right now? Is probably aggro. I think that aggro should be fucking nuts in Eternal. And like coping that we're gonna get away with playing fucking Trundle on 5. Get out of here. You're gonna die. You're gonna be hella dead.
The thing is, like, I don't even think aggro is that good in Eternal after looking at it. I think your best aggro deck is like Annie Jin. Not Demacia aggro. Sorry, asterisk. Not Demacia aggro. Your best aggro deck is like Annie Jin, which Annie Jin is still really, really good. But outside of like Annie Jin, I think the only aggro decks that exist are like Demacia aggro. But yeah, the reason Trundle Timelines was held down was because Demacia was really good into it. Kane Aatrox was really good into it. Kane Vayne was really good into it. Any type of like Demacia aggro was good because you just like went wide, and if you had a save spell for whatever they tried to Thermo Jin, you would just like win the game on the spot. And like you said, they're over there playing like a unit a turn, and you just kind of go around that.
Yeah, with like Rearguard and Pigeon, I mean, I feel like there has to be like a Nox Village deck, Nox P&Z with Dravenback. Like, there has to be something.
Yeah,
like
There's
Pirates
Pirouette
is
now too. Like, fuck.
Pirates is like really playable. The issue I had with aggro, again, this is all just looking at it and talking with my team, and not obviously like I haven't played any. Was that all of the aggro decks look good, but they look beatable, and I don't want to play a deck that's beatable in Eternal. Like, just simply put, I just want to find whatever 3 decks like can't lose, and I just want to play them because we're in Eternal. And in Standard last patch, you played like the 2 best decks, which was Tristana and Samira, and your 3rd deck was just like okay, or like your 3rd deck was like playable, and everyone kind of just like accepted that and picked whatever 3rd deck they were the most comfortable with. But I don't want to do that in Eternal because I think there are so many decks that are just like insanely good because that's how Eternal works, that I don't want to be stuck playing a deck that's playable good. I want to play a deck that's broken.
When I was playing, like, also something that like was in my mind, I was like, man, this is like a new game. I even like tried so many decks that I don't think I would like try before. Like, if the standard wasn't, I was even playing like Azure Draven again, like the Tybrim again. It was kind of bad, to be honest, but it's kind of fun. But on the timelines topic, once again, I'm playing like currently like a lot of the heal units. I play like the Mender. I'm playing the 3-drop, the new one, and like actually, I guess you can kind of be decent at Dagger with like that, but I can definitely see that it might be like bad for it.
Yeah. Basically, the way it used to come down is like if you had timelines on 2 and then you like flipped into good sized units or good units, you kind of just like race them down because there's not much they could really do about it. Like unless they're literally killing you on 5, I'm playing this like big 4-drop that has like Fearsome or Overwhelm or something, and I can like legitimately race you. But that matchup was like if you don't have timelines, you just lose the game. And like I don't think that changed at all.
I guess the deck is definitely bad without timelines. So you're playing like completely bad cards. Like Combat Cook isn't that good if you don't have timelines. But something funny to say. It happened to me in the first game when I played timelines. I played 2 2-drops, and I got twice Youngling. The Targon 1/4.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god.
I thought you were gonna say Boxipus. I was like, yeah, Boxipus really good, but no, Youngling's pretty disgusting.
I think that like you can be of course good in Dagger, but it's definitely interesting. I guess we can talk about I guess the new cards. I guess that's something that we can start off into the patch. I guess that's something that we're gonna cover most today.
Okay.
But I'm excited about it now. It's gonna be very like stressful, to be honest, because like we're having the Mastering Quota open into open. Like it's gonna be 3 weeks of LOR. Let's be honest on that.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. I think it's what a lot of competitive players. This is like the really funny thing is because I don't think either of you played card games before LOR, but in like Magic the Gathering, this is just what like a competitive card gamer felt like. Like every weekend, I was going to like $1,000 tournament in person, or I'd like go to like a $5,000 open or a $10,000 open or something, and that's like literally every weekend. And the fact that LOR is finally having that, where we have this month of craziness. Granted, it's not supposed to be this way. We just got an extra open, but the fact that it's like weekend after weekend and people are so hyped for it just makes me feel like normal. Like this is normally what a competitive card game feels like, and I'm like, yeah, this is like I'm excited to be in LOR, and like it's making it as a competitive card game.
Yeah. What else about that, AIKADO?
I think it'd be cooler if it wasn't Eternal, but outside of that, I think it's gonna be fun.
Okay,
I don't know. Eternal, dude, the fucking reverts. Oh my god. Can we skip to reverts and then come back to new cards?
Okay. Let's mod first and then be happy. Okay, I can see.
Yeah. Start negative, get positive. Grand Plaza. What the fuck? Who enjoyed Grand Plaza existing to begin with? Is this really the thing that needed to be reverted here? Jesus.
Yeah, I was like modding yesterday. Their stream, I kind of like both. I guess we can like cover like the Demacia, right? And it's like Plaza plus Poppy. That's the most important. I don't think like things like Icon and Guard gonna matter much, but like the most like and also I think the most like impactful changes are the Grand Plaza and Poppy. Man, I'm not fan of these guys. I never was fan of them, and like seeing them back. Who asked? Like
I mean, I'm happy. Because I played Demacia aggro, I won a tournament off the back of like Demacia aggro like decks. So like I love this. Like I also don't know why this is a thing. Like I don't know why. Like you put it perfectly. I never thought of how to put it the way, but you put it perfectly. Of like why Grand Plaza? Like who looked at Grand Plaza and was like, this is what Demacia needs, like paired with Poppy. Because like, is this a really really good buff? Sure. But, like also paired with a Poppy, and then like to like give us rally. Like, I think people would have much rather had 4 mana Ages back than have Grand Plaza back.
Yeah.
And
I love if this patch had Poppy
Yeah.
Revert and 4-man Golden Aegis, bro, I would have been all about it. But like
Yeah.
Plaza is just so obnoxious to play against. Plaza on 3 into like Island Navigator on 4, and like congrats, you lost your entire fucking board. They attacked you 4 times, you know, suck a dick. It's like I would prefer literally anything else.
Also, like they released the new card, the new landmark, and then like they reverted Plaza, and I thought like, why do you make the new card when you just buff the old landmark that's much better now? You know, like
the
that
new
doesn't make
card
any
is
sense.
pointed at standard, right? The new card is supposed to be standard.
Yeah, and in standard, I don't think the card's actually that bad. Like, I don't think you were ever playing that card in Eternal ever, because it was just too slow, and a lot of decks just like didn't care because we were too fast or did things better. In standard, I was like, oh, like this card's playable, but it's really funny that I've seen a lot of people do like, oh, they gave us this new landmark, and then it's just like, or it's like we have Grand Plaza and then Grand Plaza at home now, so we have like whatever the fuck this new card is called. But I just wonder how much of this is just like 2.5-year-old PTSD of Grand Plaza. Of like people just being like, oh yeah, Grand Plaza was like giga broken when we played it, and everyone just has that PTSD versus how good it actually is nowadays, like 2 years later. I mean, from what I've seen, the small amounts of gameplay I've seen, it's still fucking broken. And then like the playthrough hands, the like gold fishing hands, it's still fucking broken. So like, I wonder what it was that made them think that it's okay now, outside of like Aftershock existing, and then like maybe more landmarkades exist or something.
I mean, to be fair, we're going back to a format that has like flock and stuff, so that has to help at least a little bit. Copium, surely Rangers Resolve isn't broken. Copium, but
Four-man a whale.
Jeez, surely that'll do it.
People like,
I think we could cope on like, you know, turn 3 do nothing. Like maybe they lose on tempo. Maybe it's fine now, but God, I'm scared about it. And
until they play trouble.
And like, if they're just trying to revert the most broken shit on the planet, like, sure, let's revert Plaza. Where's my tempo revert? I fucking hate Tree. Why didn't you revert Tree? Tree's the exact same fucking thing.
That's what a lot of people also pointed out too. Was like, I'm okay with reverts being broken. I'm okay with reverting some of the best cards a region has literally ever had. But like, you have to do that for every region, or there has to be something in every region that's like pretty similar to power level type esque thing, and it just makes no sense to go like just here's Grand Plaza. It's like, okay, that's like broken, but it's kind of like whatever. Just here's 3/3 Poppy. People are like, okay, that's like really strong, but you know, we can kind of balance it out. Giving us literally both is like, like does not make too much. Like Draven, like it's like just giving us 3/3 Draven, that's okay. But imagine if they gave us like 3/3 Draven and 0 mana Poro Cannon back. Then now all of a sudden you just have this like insane discard deck for no reason. And it's like giving multiple things is kind of over the top.
I think you did a good job of like pointing out that like it would be fine. I think it would be totally fine, but it just feels like we're lacking in like other areas. Like, you know, these like aggro linear decks, like I feel like have gotten like crazy new revert tools. But like I feel like a lot of the slower, you know, like value oriented decks just kind of got shafted a little bit, you know.
Well,
like where's my Crescendo Revert? Where's Temple? Where's like anything to help me try and fight? Like it's cool that Star Shaping got slightly buffed by like Supernova changing, but am I gonna Supernova on turn 4? Like I can't do shit against this.
You can Pix got barrier now, man. Your Shin Jarvan mid range deck is good because you have a 0/2 with barrier. That's kind of pog.
Yeah, but I definitely do see that. Like, you know, Demacia got such a good new tools, and then like you have the Targon. I don't think this buff matters. Like, why don't give the spell mana rifle again? Like, that's my issue with this. Like, this Cosmic Inspirations, these cards are still bad. You know, like that's my issue.
Yeah.
Like,
yes, they're still really expensive.
It's fair mentioning. I think a lot of people forgot that, like, you know, when rotation happened, they did stuff like revert Serpent. So Serpent's a 2/1 still. And like maybe once we play the format, it'll be like, okay, actually Plaza is just like not that big a deal. We have tools to deal with it nowadays. Aftershock exists. Maybe we can beat it. Maybe. But like just day one impressions, I'm just a little I feel like there could have been a few more changes in this patch.
Yeah, this literally just brings up exactly what my fears of Eternal was, specifically Eternal Ladder, for those of you that need to climb Eternal Ladder for your ranked points. Is that it's just going to be a bunch of rock, paper, scissors. Like, do I think Plaza is like really, really strong? Probably one of the best decks in the game, sure. But do I think it's unbeatable? No. Any Noxus control deck is probably just going to cook this deck. Like, any Noxus PNZ deck is for sure going to cook this deck. Any, like, Nora deck or Broadmain deck's probably going to cook this deck. But, like, those decks also very clearly lose to something. And so now we're just in this format where, like, if you want to beat deck 1, you have to play polarizing deck 2. But then polarizing deck 2 is going to lose to like polarizing deck 3, and we're just in this like really shitty rock paper scissors slot machine meta where it's like I'm going to load up my Noxus control deck and I'm going to hope that I don't run into like a field of rush all day or something like that, you know, and
set
get
Trundle or
fucked. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
yeah.
I'm just gonna hope I don't hit this half of the meta and hit only this half of the meta, and that like fortunately for me, weird flex, but I'm like pretty okay on ladder points in standard, so I don't have to grind ladder in eternal. But I would hate it if I had to actually play eternal ladder.
Yeah, if I was like, card gamer, for example, I think is the biggest, like, best like,
and Chekhov too, yeah.
Open champion. Chekhov was like, these good people that showing in tournaments, but they didn't grind the standard ladder as much as we did, and now they have to. I also like, I'm kind of not happy that I still have to play kind of standard because I'm like 13 now, so like I still won the top 10, but maybe I can also say like just 4 points is fine, that's also something that I can definitely decide on. But yeah, it definitely feels very bad, and like I made like video on my wish list of like buffs and stuff. I've got one. I got.
Oh, you got one?
Draven. I got Draven.
Okay, no, you don't count Draven, man. Everyone got Draven. Everyone and their mom picked Draven. Like that doesn't count.
Draven was
that's
the free spot on the bingo.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like getting the free spot on the bingo. Like that doesn't count as getting a spot on bingo board. But speaking of ladder and ladder points, one thing we kind of talk about is the seasonal is coming up, or sorry, open is coming up, and we do have 2 people here that are very well positioned to qualify for Worlds through this season. I think it's very exciting to see what points are going to look like. Like, of course, this season is different because we have a 4th open. But after the 3rd open, we can kind of just like look at the points and say, okay, if this was a regular like season, this is how many points it would take to qualify, and that gives us an idea of what to look at in the next 2 seasons. How do you guys feel your odds are of qualifying, and then are you surprised about the points? Like, are you surprised it took this many points? Are you surprised that like AIKADO, are you surprised like, oh, a top 8 was enough to get me there, and then a day 2, like stuff like that? Like, how was your experience so far with the system?
I mean,
you guys are the closest to qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, I think I might have trouble qualifying, to be honest with you, just because I did what? I top 4'd, and then I top 60 4'd. And, out of 2 tournaments. To be honest with you, I feel pretty fucking good about that. But, like, between, like, the fact that I'm not really, like, grinding ladder, that plus, like, with these other tournaments, I think I have to top again. I think that's the only way that I'm actually making it in. And like, to be fair, I think that like coming in, I kind of expected that was going to be the case. Like either you need to be like crushing 2 tournaments or just like, standard top all 3. And that's like the only shot that you have just because there's only 3 spots. And I think a lot of people are going to be surprised after like we get that 3rd tournament. We look at the points and be like, okay, yeah, you really do need to be crushing fucking tournaments to have any shot.
Yeah, like you're ranked number 5 right now for NA, not counting ladder points. You're ranked number 5. I think counting ladder points, you're actually like 3 or something.
Yeah, I think
but
that's right.
not counting ladder points, you are number 5. So you're not like locked by any means. But it is really interesting to see. A lot of people did, like yourself, assume that because they're such little spots, you have to do well in all 3, or like a bare minimum day 2. But probably like do really well in 1 and then like average in the other 2. And it's interesting seeing that is how it's like coming to fruition. Like that is how it's turning out to be.
Yeah, I think that it's funny because like from day 1, I was talking about how crazy this specific one is, but so many people, I feel like we had when we were watching the last World Qualifier, I had Baya and Simon on call, and Simon's like, nah, everyone who like deserves to get Worlds will get Worlds. I'm like, Simon, I don't think you understand how Worlds qualification works right now, A, and B, like there aren't that many spots. And he just did not realize at all how few the spots were. And like, to be fair, everyone who qualifies for Worlds, like, of course, 100% deserves it. But it's just the matter of that, like, it felt like a lot of people just don't realize the system that we're in terms of just how fucking hard it is to qualify for Worlds.
Yeah, that's something that we touched last week. I think that was like it's a possibility to have every open top 16.
Top 16, yeah.
And
you top 16 every single open.
And you get $0 and no Worlds in the end.
And no Worlds points. Or sorry, no Worlds qualification, yeah.
No
that's
Worlds
like,
and no money at all. No,
it is
$0. Like,
that's like good, bro. Come on.
That's like crazy. Yeah. Like, but you need to spike up these tournaments to get it in. As we can see, like now I'm showing it on stream. Like, yeah, I got us like 5th or 6th actually. 6th, I think.
Well, Floppy and Drizoth are both qualified. So.
Oh yeah, good point. Floppy is here. Okay, so he's 5th. And I have also 11 points, and I am I'm also think I 5th. Yeah, no 6th. I'm 6th. Yeah.
One thing that you have going for you at least is that I'm looking at EU ladder, like top 10 EU ladder, 1,800 points. Yeah, okay. Drizoth has 2,000 LP on the Americas ladder. He hasn't played a game since then. He is currently rank 11 on ladder.
Yeah, it isn't. It isn't.
Oh,
I tweeted out that like I have 1,600 LP, and I deadass might have a better chance of ending top 10 if I played Eternal instead of playing Standard. Like, I'm guaranteed, almost guaranteed, like a top 25 spot, sure. But if I like needed that one extra point for top 10, I would probably be grinding Eternal. Like that is how much better my odds are because of how much the LP gap is between whatever rank I am, like 1,600 and top 10 in
Yeah,
LP.
it's
Like
Yeah, you
that's
don't
like
have
a
to gap
500,
now,
400
right?
LP gap.
Like nobody's that you are on the same starting point. And for example, I'm also thinking about it honestly, like personally, because I have kind of infinite time now, and like, do I gonna put in the standard? Also like I'm gonna meet like Soviet people. I don't know what the meta is. Or you're gonna play on soft, very likely to be more soft format in Eternal, right? Where I'm gonna have. I set a lot of time, so I have the time for grinding it. So like that's something that I'm also gonna be deciding. And honestly, I might be grinding both even. I will decide because I have like quite a lot of time, and I want to prepare for these Eternal Opens because so like that's gonna be so crucial. You need to have good meta read because you're gonna have not only one tournament but 2 tournaments. And if you count in Mastering the Open as a like good tournament, that I do count it because I think it's like tournament. It's a kind of good prize pool. Then like you have 3 crucial tournaments in one meta in 3 weeks or so. So like the meta read and everything gonna be so important.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it changes from like week to week because I think less on the Master and Terra Open because while I think that's a major to us, I don't think that's considered a major to like most people that are just like that playing opens because they can or that played in seasonals because they happen to qualify. Like I don't think they're going out and spending $20 to play in the Master and Terra Open. So it'd be interesting to see from the very first Eternal Open, like the Riot Open, how we see like, okay, this is what won, this is what did well, and see how that shifts if it changes at all to the second one. If people are like, oh, well, I'm going to be on the winning lineup or I'm going to hard counter the winning lineup, like the just like mind games that it plays because we've never had 2 majors back to back like that. So that'll be super interesting. One thing I wanted to ask. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think you're 100% right. I think it's gonna be really cool to have the back-to-back tournaments that a lot of people are gonna have eyes on, right? Like everyone's gonna know what won, what did well, what underperformed, and then just like the evolution of the meta over the next week, as far as like, do we continue to try and improve what's currently good? Do we try and counter? Like, I think there's gonna be a lot going into that second week. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be fun or not, but it'll be something.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of mind games. So then you're like, let's say like triple Demacia wins, right? Like let's say everyone's right, Plaza's broken, doesn't get hot fixed, triple Demacia wins. So now the second week, are you like, oh well, triple Demacia is broken, so let me play that, or are you like, well, I'm going to play triple Noxus to beat that, and then you're like, oh, dude, I hear everyone's playing triple Noxus to beat the Demacia players. I think Rise is the play. I think we load up some SI, and I was just like. The mind games is going to be so fucking hilarious.
Demacia wins again, or
and then Demacia wins again because you queue into all the people playing like fucking Rise and shit. It cracks me up.
Do you know how many points you have for Worlds?
Yeah, like 3, like literally 3.
Do you think that you could still qualify for Worlds?
I think you mean for this season?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 4 points from honor, so I technically have 7. I think I'd literally have to win both of the opens. That puts me at 31 points, and it would require everyone else to like not do it. Like, because there's people at like 17 points. If he just like it would require everyone above me to just like, or the people in like the top 5 or whatever to shit the bed, and then I'd have to like dead ass top 2 both open to get like my 20 points.
Yeah.
So just win for him twice.
Yeah, like is it possible? Like mathematically, like for sure it's possible. Is it likely? Like, no. Not even just because I just like incapable of winning 2 tournaments like that, but just the odds of everyone above me shitting the bed that hard is also like not very high. One thing I wanted to ask for you guys, this is more towards AIKADO, because I love fucking with you and I think it's hilarious. When the first open was ran like shit, a lot of people wanted it to not count towards Worlds. And you very much said, fuck you, give me my world points.
I want my points, bro.
You want your points. Okay. So when they announced, like, it's going to continue, but we're giving another open, you were pretty happy because you're like, fuck you, I got my points.
I was happy. Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say I was happy that I got my points, but I don't want another tournament. Just give me the 3.
So how would you feel if you like do really well this next open and you're top 3, and then the last open something happens, your internet DCs 3 games in a row and you don't qualify, and you don't qualify for Worlds? Are you gonna be like, don't make this open count, don't make the first open count, like only the first 3 opens count?
Bro, I mean, I would have preferred it just be the 3 because obviously that benefits
Because
me
you got the
greatly,
point.
just
Yeah, for
mathematically.
sure.
But I mean, I don't know. If it comes down to it, like if I don't qualify through this season, like there's still 2 more seasons. I'm gonna keep playing, and like realistically, I think I have a pretty okay shot. You know, at the end of the season, there's gonna be like a overall points, right? And I think that like among America's players, if I continue to play well, I think I'll have like a pretty okay shot at making it there. So I'm not gonna lose my mind. But at the same time, God, wouldn't it be fucking nice to just qualify here and not have to worry about it for the rest of the year?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
That's just the truth. You know, he's on vacation already, man. What is this? We have to grind
yeah,
here.
dude's already fucking went to Vegas and gambled away his 5K. Like, damn. He's like, oh, I'm qualified. I don't even have to. He uninstalled LOR, went to Vegas. Like,
Exactly.
he's living the life, man. But yeah, no, obviously I don't wish that on you. I hope you do qualify. I think you're a very good player. But I just think that'd be really fucking hilarious, specifically because it's you. Like, anyone else is not nearly as funny. It's kind of like, oh, that like sucks. But specifically because it's you, it would be really funny. Also really fucking sad. At the same time.
That's exactly what we were talking. I was today at Jordan's stream. We were like talking about timelines and stuff, and he was like, I should have bet first 2 opens. What are my odds? I guess you can win both, you know? Like, if you win both now, like, you can make it, I think, but...
Yeah. It's like, if you win both, if you have 0 points going into it, and you win both, you're at 24 points, you need Krios to not get 6 points. What is 6 points? That's just like 2 day 2s? Like a minimum or something?
No, that's like that's more. Like day 2 is 2 points. On
okay, so you just need them to not double top 32 is what it is.
Yeah.
Like that's so funny. Just like only win both, and then also need these people to just ship the bed completely and not day 2 a single time. Like that's a really funny scenario.
And it's funny that it exists like that, but it also makes sense that like if you completely shit the bed for like the first 2 tournaments, like being able to come back at this point like probably should be really hard. But it just comes down to the fact that there's 3 slots available, which is not many.
Yeah, but I said, like it's 3 slots remaining, but the 3rd slot is gonna be in such a good position that like he eventually can make it at the end of the year. So
yeah, I think that's what AIKADO was like putting towards, where he was like, oh, if I don't qualify, like if he does miss or something, you know, because of the 4th open, he's definitely a front runner at that point for NA for this first season to be a yearly pointer because of how close.
Like that's same with me, where like right, like. If I don't get it there, like, you know, also like even if we don't make it totally, then have the last tournament, the last shot or something, how it's called. Of course, like you need to like hire it, but I was kind of good at the qualifiers, so you know I kind of believe.
Don't you have to literally win?
Top 2.
Yeah, it's top 2. Yeah.
Oh, aren't there 2 of them? I thought you have to literally win one of them.
There's 1 for each region, and it's top 2.
Yes.
Really? I thought there were 2 different tournaments. Are there not?
No, there's 6 total slots, 3 tournaments, 1 for each region, top 2.
And
each region qualify. Because there's 3 tournaments and there's 3 tournaments and 6 spots. Because I watched Boulevard's breakdown video. The way they put it on their graphic is really fucking weird because they show 3
there's 3 different things that say last chance qualifier, but that's 1 for each region.
Yeah, because once you break down all the, because it was confusing, but if you take all of the invite slots before that, it leaves you with 6 invite slots. So we know that it's 2, 2, and 2, and it's 1 for each region.
So wait, when the people get to the end, right? Like they get into the finals, do they even play?
I mean, I'm sure there's some money.
No. I think it's gonna be like in qualifiers when I qualified. I had the game against it and didn't play because we were in, right? I think I would say. I don't know.
I would assume it's just like a money match or something. Yeah, maybe seeding. I don't know. I mean, like we also don't know if they give Worlds points because like first place in the Worlds qualifiers get Worlds points for we don't know what reason, probably seeding or something. So it's probably some weird shit like that. Like, do you have to play? No. Like, unless there's a money difference, I probably not. I'm just going to bed. I'm just turning on my screen.
I'm gonna be happy and I'm gonna get that drunk. What you mean?
Yeah,
like, come on.
Exactly.
It's about the flex, bro. It's about winning. Come on. It's about having the clout.
Yeah.
You've carried winning 1 tournament, you know, for the last like 3 years, so you might as well win this.
It's not been 3 years, okay? It's been less than 2. It's been like a year and a half. First of all, August 21st, 2021, by the way.
But like,
Considering
you
guys
haven't
didn't
won
want to go
any
watch the
major
VOD.
though. Like, AIKADO, you haven't won any major. You know, like we have 3 major
That's
winners
true.
with Drizzt.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna bring that up. We actually have to change the entire bio of the podcast because the bio of the podcast is 3 major winners talk about competitive LOR, and we literally have to change that because we no longer have 3 major winners on for this episode.
Well, just this
that's
episode,
true.
it's fun. It's on me also. I'm doing
Yeah.
everything. So like, it's, you know, like you are like, we have to change it, but it's me changing it. So, you know, like more stop, you know, like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
No,
care. It's not up to me.
leave it as it is. Leave it as it is. I'll just win the next one, okay?
Just
I got
win the
you.
next
I'll
one.
save your description.
So the points are very tight for this open, and I think ladder is coming into play a lot more than people thought. Especially with like how close the point totals are. Like the fact that you, AIKADO, are literally like top 3 would be qualified if you count ladder points because people like Card Gamer and Chekhov don't have ladder points at the moment. With ladder being so big, first of all, did you guys expect that? And then 2 is kind of like a weird segue into the MMR abuse tweet from Riot.
I think that like the ladder points were always going to matter somewhat, right? In terms
Yeah,
of just
like a
like
non-zero
differentiating
amount.
people. I think that like the big thing is that, you know, when we're looking at like top 10 versus top 25, there's only a 1 point difference, right? Difference.
Yes.
Or like, you know, top 50, like there's only like a 2 point difference. So like that mattering is like less likely. It might though.
Yeah,
I think the big thing is just that like the fact that
Mhm.
Card Gamer and Chekhov haven't been playing ladder at all is like
Yes.
that's big.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think basically having ladder points versus having none is really big. But the difference between having like a top 10 and top 25 is not big. Like I'm not going to push for top 25 specifically because I know I'm not qualifying for this season. So the 1 point fucking me is like not really relevant unless I literally go on a tear and like I could actually win a tournament and then like top 2. The 1 point's probably not going to fuck me, and so I'm happy to go yearly with just the 4 points.
I think ladder's not going to save you, but it will fuck you. If you're
Yeah.
like in contention, like there's no way that ladder saves you, but it absolutely will
Yes.
fuck you if you're in contention. You're just not playing ladder.
Yeah,
100%. I think that's the best way to put it. And then so with ladder being so important, one of the things we talked about on last week was how there is this like ladder MMR thing. Some people were like literally intentionally losing 100 games in a row to screw their MMR over to make the game think, oh, this player is like dog shit, horrible player. Anytime they win, they deserve 28. Anytime they lose, it's like super expected because they're super trash players. And we had some people considering like, hey, do I just like do this? Like I'm kind of stuck in the middle of the pack. Will I get punished if I just like int 100 in a row and then do this if I'm like a streamer? All this stuff. And then Riot finally puts out a tweet, like an official statement that says like, hey, we're gonna fix our system. Like they acknowledge that their system is fucked, and they say they're gonna fix it, and then they explicitly say like manipulating your MMR by inting games is against DOS and is like bannable, basically. Or is like is punishable by ban or whatever.
I find it the tweet just currently, but
yeah, I was, I think, a very vocal supporter of anybody who FF'd 100 games. I think that the system is so fucked and so unfair that the only way to fix it is either playing thousands of games at a mediocre win rate, which is what Mo has done, or FF 100. And I was 100% on board with people FFing 100 until Riot said something. I'm not going to take credit for Riot saying something. I'm going to say I absolutely DM'd Ruben and was like, okay, on the level, Ruben, if I FF 100 games, is Riot going to ban me? He ghosted me, but 48 hours later, there was a tweet from the Riot account. So
That's really funny. But yeah, here's the tweet on screen. Adjustments to our rank system will be arriving soon, but in the meantime, we want to be clear, attempting to manipulate your rank via repeated forfeits is against LORTOS and can result in disciplinary action. Should your experience be impacted by someone violating LOR terms of service, please make sure to file a support ticket. Basically, if you think someone inted into you or you catch someone inting, they just want you to report it. They want you to be a snitch.
Yeah.
So
what if they gave LP to people who snitch? Like if you find someone, you get half the LP that they gained.
Oh my god.
I think any bad player that had like a sub 55% win rate, I'd be like, no, get him out of here. I'd be like, this guy's clearly inting. Like, you know, like in your league games when you have someone that's going like 2-8 because they got like hard countered or they just have like a bad game, and you're just like report for inting. That's what I would do. Anyone that had like a bad game or queued up a bad deck, I would just be like, no, they're clearly inting. Riot, get them off of my ladder.
Honestly, I don't think like anybody gonna get honest banned. Like I think this is just like, you know, their statement of like, don't do it, don't be idiots, and like, but actually nobody gonna get banned. So this I'm kind of like Scared. We have like the Eternal ladder just starting. I guess in
Mhm.
EU, in NA, it didn't start yet for some reason. We don't know why.
Yeah.
But like, it's kind of crazy to think about it like that. It's not fixed. The system. Are we on the same system as on standard? Because if we are,
Yes.
oops. Like I'm gonna play meme decks till masters. I guess.
Yeah, if
That's
you're
actually,
like I
I
thought
don't know,
about
like,
this, not because me doing it, because I also don't care about Eternal Rings, just putting that out there so Riot doesn't ban me. But I'm like, I want to play like meme decks because it's fun and I'm a content creator. So like I want to put out YouTube videos. And like for those of you that don't know, all your content creators, when they post 4 games of them winning with a shitty deck, they did not go 4-0, I promise. They went 4-28. They lost 28 games in a row, and then randomly high rolled some other shitter on some meme deck, and then posted that video to YouTube. So like, if I lose 28 games in a row, like, because I'm playing a meme deck, is that like bad? Is that bannable? Do I like get the excuse that I'm a content creator? Like, how does this?
I mean,
With the
I would
very
assume that
fresh
there's
MMR, it's super fucked.
there's a very obvious difference between like somebody going literally 0 and 100, which is what we
Yes.
saw people doing, versus having like a 40% win rate. Like I've definitely played like 30 games of a deck and ended up with like a 40% win rate. Like that's normal. That'll happen. And to be clear, by the way, I'm not saying that you cannot climb. I'm saying that what you have to do to
Yes.
climb without fucking your MMR is have like a 70+% win rate over like 100+ games.
Yeah.
Which people have done. That's why Drizzouth was rank 1, is because Drizzouth was fucking climbing. But the
Yeah.
point is that like what I have to do to climb versus what people at the top are already doing, and the fact that I'm worth a lot more LP than they are. There's a million issues with this MMR system. I'm not saying I can't climb. I'm saying what I have to do to climb is different from what other people. But
Yeah, definitely. It's much
Sorry,
harder.
I had to
Also,
argue
like,
with your
it's
chat.
much more time consuming. It's much harder. It's like,
Yeah, so it's just strictly not fair, which in a competitive integrity environment is not what you want. Like, you want it to be as fair as possible. You want you just want it to be as fair as possible. And the fact that some people have to work much harder doesn't mean it's impossible for them. Like, no, it's not impossible for them. We see like multiple cases of this happening. It's just not fair to them that they have to do that. And some people at the top can hold like 55, 60% win rates, and you have to hold a 70 to 75% win rate to get to that same result. That's the not fair part.
I was talking with someone. I think it's probably literally impossible to lose more than like 500 LP at the top of ladder.
yeah.
I think it's probably like literally impossible because of how quickly the MMR changes. It'll be like sort of cushioning you the entire time. You have to have like below a 35% win rate, I think, which is I think it's literally.
If you play
impossible.
meme deck, you have like 40 easily. Like, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, that was one thing I was going to bring up with the Eternal ladder, because I was like memeing about, just playing this meme deck, have a bad win rate. You guys know you literally do not lose LP until you get to like silver. So like you could hold a literal like 5% win rate playing meme decks over and over and over again. Not inting, but go like have this like 5%, 10%, 20, 30% win rate. That's like absurdly bad because you're playing a really bad deck. But you will still ultimately climb up to like silver. So you can still like completely don't do this, by the way, I'm not advocating for this. But you can completely fuck your win rate, but still climb the whole time, all the way up to like silver. And even in silver, I think your gains are like plus 25, minus 10, or something like that. Like something like ridiculously dumb.
It's funny. I saw somebody complaining. It was either on the subreddit or in Twitch chat, and they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm stuck in iron. I can't win, and I got demoted." And it's like, homie, you aren't playing games. That's not how LOR ladder works. Maybe you're code from League of Legends. It's literally impossible to fucking not climb out of iron.
Like literally impossible. Like you can win one game in 10,000 and you will climb.
Yeah,
like it is literally impossible to not climb in iron and bronze.
Well, that was the LP, of course, but you get to like 50. I was like blank today on the ladder, and I was getting 50 for a win. I only did in bronze, by the way, so pretty pork. It's kind of funny that we have for such a long time. We have like the I'm not starting platinum, right, and I'm starting these in this bottom because I did it on like an AI account, but it's kind of fun to see, and like especially everyone, and like I was playing against like weird stuff. Let's be honest, when I was playing.
Dude, even when you're in like when I'm smurfing because I'm doing like an unranked to Masters challenge and stuff like that, people still play like tier 1 decks because our system is so free to play. People deadass just have like tier 1 decks down in the slums, like bronze, silver, and gold. It's fucking hilarious. I saw someone tweet out yesterday that they were like mad that their girlfriend just got interested in LOR and she like doesn't have cars, doesn't want to spend money, but she was like legitimately playing against Karma Set. It was just like, is Karma Set broken? No. Is Karma Set against a literal silver player broken? Like, of course. and it made her just not want to play LOR. Like straight up, like no meme, she wanted to quit LOR because she had to play against Karmaset in silver. And he was like, I'm very happy that our game is extremely free to play, but also like is there any way to balance out this like card collection thing or something? And I was like, I've never
the other
thought
thing
about that.
that's really cool with this patch is, aren't we getting like 7 new decks? Like, aren't they making like a,
Yeah.
has anyone looked at them? Are they
Yeah, I already
good? Like,
climbed
are
it.
they playable?
I already climbed it, and I think they're decent. It's like it was like darkness. It was, I don't know exactly what. I instead like I moved them on an icon, but I got a lot of cards on an even, so like I was kind of happy to see that because
I think that's part of the issue, right? For a lot of new players, is that you are playing against people who like have access to all these new cards without having to spend money, just because LR is so free to play. Like the fact that the old like preset starter decks were so dog shit, getting new ones that hopefully are a little bit more relevant, like hopefully combats that at least.
yeah, they're
somewhat.
definitely good. Like they're playable. Like they only have like 2 champions ever. That's like maybe the issue of that on them, but they're definitely good. Like they're playable. I said like, it's like darkness. Maybe the release is kind of sus, but it's so good, And also, like, we have also the Sunny video now. That's pretty good for the newbies.
Yeah, resources for new players.
And he was also talking about how to upgrade these decks, so that's also very cool to see. Like I think definitely this is gonna help the new players. I don't know how many new players we get in, but hopefully a lot. That But when we saw also like something we didn't touch at all in podcast, it was like the amount of players that the Path of Champions, the monthly challenges, how it's called, got. Like there was so many players.
Oh, was it? I didn't even know that was a thing that they released.
It was Joey.
It was
there was like
Leaderbird player.
There was like Leaderbird.
Yeah, there's a leaderboard of people who like all tried the Path of Champions thing. If you added all 3 regions together, wasn't it like, I don't remember. I don't know if there's a number. I don't want to throw a number out, but there was a lot of.
I'm gonna find the Joey. Oh my god, Joey's tweeting too much, though. But
Yeah, Joey, can you?
Joey tweet less than 9 times a day. Mission.
But it was like 1K.
Andre said 500,000. I don't know if that's true. I'm gonna pull aside here and say I'm telling you what people tell me, but I'm being told 500,000 from Twitch.
Yeah, 160K for like 1 region. What I've seen.
Okay, so that's like. Yeah, like 480 or
Joey
so. Like
saved 600K from chat. I'm gonna trust Joey. But like it's because it's 600,000 people who played our game, and not just played our game. They opened up Path of Champions. They saw like this like challenge thing and did it. Like and there's so many people that like I didn't know this fucking challenge thing was going on. So like the number of active players that we have has to be significantly higher than that, right?
Yeah, it's Path of Champions, right? Like that's like.
And I think the craziest thing is that this shows how much like in-client pop-ups and in-client notifications like work or show you, and they like bring attention to these, and people will click on things and do things because of in-client pop-ups. And it would be really cool because we have in-client pop-ups now for the opens that tell you on the main screen like, hey, the open is in X days. Open is live now. The open is happening now. It would be really cool if they also did that for the World Championship. And this is something that people advocated for like previously, where people, you would have no idea that the literal World Championship, like they didn't do this for seasonals either, but like the actual World Championship, come on guys, like they didn't advertise the World Championship in the client anywhere where people would click. Like maybe they put it on that first screen where people just automatically click past it because it's the same like pop-up notification they get every single day. But having something in a spot where that people will actually look at it and click on it like they did with this Path of Champions thing, like that could bring a lot of attention, bring some new players into the PvP or competitive side.
Also, something that I would advocate for AIKADO, it's like, we have now for the open, that's very cool. I would maybe add, I don't know if there's like Twitch link. I don't think there's like, for the stream. I think that's something that should be also there. But, for example, it has like Runeterra, when we're gonna look at it. Like that's what I like, you have like the pop-up, somebody's live, that's something that I think SRT could maybe add, like, I don't know, Alan is live, Margin is live, and maybe, check his stream out. Of course, like, I don't know how expensive this is and how like safe it is because like, it's like on different platforms on Twitch that like Kara doesn't own. I don't know if it's like doable, but it would be cool, honestly, like if we had something like Runeterra has here with like, these streams.
I think actually having like streams being played like or specific people probably isn't the strat, because Riot probably doesn't want to just endorse whoever has the most viewers on Twitch. Like they don't know. But like
You're
having
just
you
saying
know
that
like
because
a
you're not
league.
LPP, so they wouldn't click you.
I guess they could do specifically only LPP players, huh?
Mhm.
Check me.
Okay, in that case, it's only cool if I join the LPP. The
Yeah.
fact that
That's what.
they're
Yeah.
pushing viewership to people who aren't me, what the fuck? No, I mean, I think that could be cool to have like some sort of even just like on like the pop up. It's like come join the community at wherever.
But yeah, twitch.tv/category/legends of Runeterra or something. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
But I do wonder, like, especially with like this challenge, seeing the numbers on that. Dear God, would I love to see some fucking numbers on how many people played in the open? I would love to see how many people played in the open.
yeah.
I want to know because it has to be a lot of people. Like, I think conservatively, at least like 5,000 plus players. I wouldn't be surprised if we were into 5 figures. Maybe that's a bit much, but I think a lot of people played the open.
Well, it depends on the
At
region.
least tried it.
I think APAC is. Like
Because APAC didn't even have 1,000 people when they had seasonals. What?
Okay, yeah. Let's ignore APAC. I'm just
No flame to APAC, but they did not have enough people to fill their 1K minimum of like.
Bro, they didn't
seasonals.
have enough people to stop like fucking 6-2s or 6-3s for making it to their.
I don't know. I think like maybe 5K. I could see that. I think there is like a limit that we know for a fact people didn't play because there would just be more like 9-0s. Like there would just like statistically have to be more like 9-0s and 9-1s, right?
I think a big thing is that a lot of people probably don't finish their runs. If I had to guess, like a lot of people probably start their runs, they maybe go like 5 rounds and then they just like, they go do something else for the rest of their day. So I wouldn't be surprised if the amount of people that started is really high and the amount of people who finished is like relatively low.
Yeah.
And especially with like win-based matchmaking, we'd see like very few people actually go like 9-0. That said, I mean, in the first open, there was not win-based matchmaking. You know what we saw an assload of? People going 9-0 and 9-1. There were a lot of fucking people.
Yeah. But
right?
also something to add on, like, because like I think some people also left before because they were like, okay, I'm X2, I cannot make it, right? Because I was also I finished 9-2 and I was like, I'm not in.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah, my friend Deadass scheduled something else for the World Qualifier Open because he said this game is dog shit. I went 9-1 and didn't qualify. And he like just straight up scheduled something else for the Open because he said this game is dog shit. And I convinced him to play in the future, so he's gonna be playing more now. Because I told him I was like one off. But like, what if you don't have like a Mo, or like what if you don't have an AIKADO? You don't have someone that's like in the scene to tell you that's like, no, dude, trust, like that was a one-time thing and they fixed it. And that was your experience of like, oh, you went 9-1 and then didn't make it, or you went 9-2 and then didn't make it on the very first experience. I would also just be like if I went and tried fucking, I don't know, the Battle Saga Spirits trading card game or whatever, and I went 9-1, 9-0, and I didn't make it, I'd be like, oh, this game sucks. I'd be like, yeah, this system blows ass. I have to have a perfect score to make it. I'm just not gonna bother and play something else. So I like definitely don't fault them for thinking that way.
I think it's interesting to think about the players who just like aren't super plugged in. Like they see the opens going on. I saw a story on Twitter about somebody who was talking to their mom, and apparently their mom was playing like Candy Crush, and Candy Crush had like this fucking like $10 million prize pool tournament or something going on. And he was just talking with his mom, and his mom was looking. She's like, yeah, I don't know, I just play the game. And he looked and she was like top 10 or something.
She was ranked. She's ranked either 1 or 2. I don't want to lie and give you specific, but it was either 1 or 2 in all of America. Like all of North America, she was ranked 1 or 2, and she finished top 4. She was top 4 in the tournament and just like refused to go to the LAN is what happened, because she's like, yeah, I don't want to like do that. Like that's weird. So she like refused to go to the LAN, finish top 4 in this thing that she was just like playing in.
Yeah,
like she was accidentally ranked like top 2 in her region, accidentally top 4 this like tournament, and then just refused to go to the LAN.
So I just wonder if there are people like that like didn't know they like topped an open or something, or if that's going to happen. I mean, or somebody, Joey brought up Ichiran Ramen 9-0'd the open. Day 2 he comes in, plays 2 rounds, and then leaves and doesn't sign in for his 3rd round.
I think 1 round only.
Oh, did he only play 1?
He only played 1 round.
He just decided to not sign in to his next round. I ran into the guy on ladder like 4 hours later. I ran into him and he was playing ladder. Who is this guy?
Yeah, second undefeated player. Like, unless like I think if he was playing, I don't think Drizzle would win. Unless like, come on, let's be honest on that.
Ichiran had it.
There's definitely a lot of fucking weird cases of people like that aren't just super plugged in and super like sweaty.
But it's
Player
fine. Like
deck is one way
it's
to
a
put it.
card game. It's a mobile game. But there's something that we talked about last week. It's cool to have the notification on my mobile because I wouldn't play day 2 if I didn't have the mobile notification because I was drunk, so I have no clue what's going on. And I saw, oh, I made it to day 2. I was like, "Whoo, let's go!" And
That's good.
and I think I think like we talk about like on our channels and everything like on these changes. Is there something that you want to touch about the patch? But do you think that's something like I guess maybe the nerfs is something that worth we didn't touch yet?
Yeah, we didn't touch about any of the nerfs. I think the nerfs are quite a big deal. I think Samira decks are really not happy. I think Samira, basically anything but like Samira Jinx. I think the best Samira deck is going to be whatever deck did not need Samira. And it's just like your generically good 2-drop that like sometimes burns, sometimes challenges. That's going to be like your best Samira deck now. Like I don't think Samira Fizz is going to be like, I don't want to say dead, but it's nowhere near the strength it was before. Like Samira Pantheon is nowhere near the strength it was before.
Yeah,
I think like Samira Jinx is probably the least touched, on top of getting the new Blowback card to help it literally fix the one issue the deck had. Blowback fixes. So like there's a chance that I obviously take bold claims on like Twitter and shit, but I tweeted out that like Jinx Samira is gonna be the best deck in the game because it was already really good, probably in contention for the best deck in the game, and then we just had its like issue solved with Blowback. So yeah, I think Samira decks are very interesting. I think the monkey nerf hurts people a lot more than they think. I saw Yang Zera was like, "Oh, we lost vulnerable, but like doesn't matter. You lost like 2 damage basically." And then people like MTux pointed out like, "No, dude, you lost like a lot of damage. Like a lot of times you're playing monkey on these boards where like you're 2 or 3 wide and your opponent's also like 2 or 3 wide, and now you can play monkey to push through like a bunch of damage for no reason, whether it's like a lifesteal blocker or like whatever. Because it's not always just this I'm going 6 wide powder pandemonium to your 1 unit board or something. Like that's not the case. If that is, then the vulnerable also didn't matter because you're just gonna like blow their asshole open anyways.
Yeah. I think there were a lot of like Twitter and Reddit responses where they felt like it just wasn't like very impactful to Powder Pandemonium. I think it was huge. I think it's big enough that they should probably put Powder Pandemonium back to 4 mana. I think that card got fucking hosed. I think that like Samira Bilge like might still be a playable deck. But like Samira Pantheon is dead and underwater.
Yeah.
It cared way too much about Flare. I think Samira got major, and to be fair, 100% deserved. Samira deserved a nerf. I think Tristana also got like pretty buried, and I think both of these nerfs are like very good for standard. I'm just very concerned about the stuff that didn't get nerfed. There are a few decks that are just a little scary.
Yeah. Just to add on Summer, I think Summer is now completely an aggro card. I think you're gonna play it in aggro. They're gonna play it in anything different. It's just aggro card that's 2 mana that can do 2 damage Mystic Shot, right? Like it's action, it's aggressive action. Yeah, I would agree with on you. On the monkeys, I think you made an amazing point, Mo. There, like you lost 2 damage, but you also lost like Butcher with this. Like your Butcher's gonna die now because you didn't pull the unit that would kill him. So like that's something you have to be thinking about. And like this.
How many times did you Powder Pandemonium on like turn 4 for like 3 monkeys just for like board control? Because you get to trade down their entire fucking board and push like 6 damage.
You don't even need to trade down their board. It's because this deck's just a numbers deck. This is the most flesh and blood deck we've ever had, where you literally just need to count to 20. And so you just go like, if I Powder Pandemonium for 3, I could pull their units to the side. They develop 1 blocker. They block like this. I push, my 4 damage or whatever. But because of how my hand is shaped and the units I have left, I can push the remaining damage. And that's all you needed it for. So the fact that you cannot do that anymore because you're not going to have vulnerable, you're getting significantly less damage because they're going to choose how they block, and then you're not going to have those leftover resources for damage because, like you said, your Butcher is dying, your 3/2 is dying, your Samira is getting blocked potentially. Like, there's so many more things added on to that, more than just like, I can pull to the side, do exactly this much, and then burn you.
Yeah.
I think also like being able to pick your own blockers like matters a lot against this deck, because now if there's something you don't want to block with, that's fine. If you're willing to take a little bit of damage and just kill someone on the clapback, like it's a lot more dangerous of a card now. And I think that gives a lot more agency to your opponents, when before this deck like basically robbed your opponent of all agency. It was like, if I drew well, you're fucking dead. But now,
because it didn't matter what you did or what you want to do, I'm just going to make your back row thing block or whatever.
About the Tristana, I definitely think that Tristana is. I think Tristana Bridgewater is like straight up unplayable. Like, let's be honest. I think
Tristana in standard is unplayable. It's just dead ass. I think
I'm
it's
not
just
sure.
not
I'm
a
not sure
deck.
about that. I think Demacia didn't get hit that much because I think Demacia is still gonna have the game plan go wide, champion strength, right? But definitely like
Well,
Bridgewater one that like cared. Like the more interesting version of Tristana, I think is just butchered by the no spell shield mostly because like it was so necessary for the deck.
yeah, I think the issue and why I think Tristan in general is just not good is because we had this champion strength before, right? If we're just gonna take out Vandal Gunners, we had this champion strength deck before. So what was different about it? Why weren't we playing it before? And it's because people don't want to play a deck that says I either win on turn 6 or I lose on turn 6. And what Vandal Gunners did was give you the option to not have champion strength on 6 and still win the game. Because you can say like, oh, I don't have champion strength on 6, or I pushed like a moderate amount of damage but didn't kill you with my elusives and stuff like that. Well, now I have this like unkillable spell shield unit that's for sure gonna pop you for 3 damage. And now that they don't have that, you're basically just playing every other champion strength deck ever that says like, if I have champion strength on 6, for sure I'm winning just as much as I was beforehand. But now it's if I don't have champion strength on 6, or if you can actually answer my champion strength in some way, I literally do not have a comeback mechanic that is not just second champion strength.
I think the other thing that's really funny is even if somehow the Tristana Champion Strength deck is still playable, you know what version Karma was really good into? And you know what
Champion
just lost its
version.
spell shields? Karma is really fucking good into Tristana now. Karma.
Man, I just don't get it why like they just refuse to touch. But I honestly I don't think
I think
you
it's
should
because Karma's just not that good.
just
Like,
hit
period.
set.
I think it's not
hit
bad.
set, like hit set. Set is the issue. We all know that. Like hit set.
Yeah.
I think he's too
Yeah,
easy to level up. I think he should never
Mhm.
give you Showstopper on 8. I believe that. Never. Unless you like go, Pillar, maybe like then maybe you deserve Showstopper. But if you go like only the 6 mana draw, refill the formula, I don't think you should deserve Showstopper on 8.
Here's my issue, and I could be wrong. I just don't think Karma Set is that great of a deck. I think the deck is very good. I think it's like a top deck in the meta now because we've lost other decks. But I don't think this deck is this like super strong, unbeatable deck that I feel like a lot of people think it is. I think the deck loses to quite a bit of stuff. I think a lot of people's experiences as the Karma players is just like skill diffing people. But there's like a very real like group of people that just like actively want to play into Karma players because they're just like going to win, or they have experiences of just winning. And it's very weird to have this like such a divided competitive community of people that are like Karma Set really strong, really good, one of the best decks in the game, and the other side that's like I agree with you, but I'm still beating it consistently.
What do you think beats Karma?
I mean, Annie Jin beats Karma. I think Jinx Samira beats Karma. I think Aatrox beats Karma. Those
Is
are like
Annie
the three I
Jin a
can think
real
of
deck
often.
in Standard?
Yeah, Annie Jin has really good tables. Annie Jin has really good tables.
Well, like
Do you think so?
Kaisa beats
Yeah.
Karma as well. Like Kaisa is good
Do you-
into Karma.
Yeah. Annie
So,
Jin
yeah,
has really
Kaisa-
good tables.
I think Kaisa definitely beats Karma. Aatrox, I think, is much less favored than Aatrox players think it is. And I think like, especially when people are on like the stagehand build of Karma, I don't think that it just like folds to these aggro decks. I think Karma's like probably a beatable deck. Like if it was literal best deck of the format, which I think it might be, I think that we can like build lineups that probably are beating it. But the thing with this Karma deck is that if you ever have even a slightly slow hand, you do not beat it. Set is fucking crazy.
Yeah, but you do the same thing with Karma, right? Because like I've watched Majin like play in his top 64 game, and he like mulligans and then opens up with like triple place your bets, and he's just like not doing anything for
just
4
bad,
turns,
bro. I mean,
right?
come on.
Like Karma has like Karma has the same issue, if not more often, with these hands of just like unplayable. Like if you don't have set on 5, your deck drops a tier. I'm sorry. Like your deck deadass drops like 5% in win rate if you don't have set on 5. Like if you just like threaten the set on 5, you're like, I'm gonna open pass into you and then I'm gonna print I have set. And they call you and they just like play a card and you don't play your set back, they're just gonna play cards into you and you're just gonna be sad because you're like sitting there with like cards in your hand. And now, does that make the deck bad? No, I don't think the deck is bad. That's not my take. That's never my take. I just don't think the deck is like as good as a lot of Karma players think it is because of their personal experiences. But it's coming from my own anecdotal like personal experiences. So
I fucking hate Karma Set. I've always hated Karma Set. All I know is the moment I started playing Karma Set in tournaments, I've started crushing tournaments. So I don't know. I think that good, but it could just be personal experience.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to people knowing how to play against Karma and then like hitting those people. It is because like again, this is not Flame. I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but like you ran into someone that knew how to play into Karma and they had the anti-Karma lineup and they beat you. It was close and you took them to game 3.
I played Bro,
Like-
did you see my hand?
Yeah,
Do you see his
but
hand?
that's fine,
He
right?
hit
Because
top
that's how
percentage, I hit
karma
bottom
works, right?
percentage.
But karma decks draw like that sometimes.
He had to have second Leona. I was fine if he didn't have literally second Leona.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alas.
I don't know, man.
If I'd set
But-
on 5, he loses the game.
Yeah, but exactly, that's what I'm talking about. You
No,
didn't
I
have that on
get it.
5, and your deck just like dropped to 1%. But again, I think the deck's good. I think if you are a good karma player, you will win most of your games. I think if you are a good player that knows how to play into karma, you will win most of your games. So it really just comes down to like what decks you're playing and then how you're playing against the karma decks or whatever. I think it's very good. I think if you're a top percentile Masters player, probably just jam karma set and collect your free LP from everyone else. That's not like another top 25 Masters player.
I can see that. Like, it's definitely like it's
Yeah.
somewhat common. But going on, we have also the new guys. Like, I think we kind of covered the patch. I think like there's like okay, there's some like minor changes that can maybe matter, but I think we covered the most. I think the Demacia is definitely and the Nerfs matter. I think the other buffs might be mattering, but it's like very like and also like we talked about it a lot. But let's cover the new guys because I think that's something interesting to definitely see. What are your thoughts about completely about like the variety sets though, guys? Like, do you think they are like big enough? Very hoping that they're gonna be bigger. Or, like, do you happy how many cards they present? Or what are your thoughts about that?
I think if they consistently have like 12 cards, that's fine. That's good. That's probably like a good amount, especially if they're good cards. The issue is if among those 12 cards, you have cards that you just peeled from the next set that do literally nothing because they're working towards like this cat synergy that isn't in the fucking game. It's a little weird that you added that to this card because this is you literally just take it from the next expansion. Like,
Yeah,
let's
I
be
think
honest.
like how many cards? This is like 11 cards, right? I think
got
10
11.
out of this 11 cards, very good. Like I don't think they're good cards. I think it's understandable why they're here, and I like that they're here. They like do something different. They give you like small little hopes to these like different archetypes. Like we have like SI Dog, and it's like sure, like SI unit based decks are now more playable, and that's like, are they good? No, because they just don't exist. But this helps that out, which is like kind of good. But out of those 11 cards, one of them just like quite literally does not make sense. Like it's just like, why are you printing? Why give us this card? Give us literally any other card in this spot. And I think this reveal, this mini expansion thing was great. I think it was great. We got some really, really good cards. We got some mediocre cards. We got some bad cards. I think it was great. Outside of the fact that we got this card that is like quite literally unplayable.
Yeah.
Do you think that it existing as so like it fulfills two things, right? By being released, we're talking about BaJAtak, by the way. It's the Shrima card that like has cat synergy. It's like parallel convergence main deck. It's a cool card. It's just we have no idea what it's used for.
Yes,
it does two things.
To be clear, I think the card is cool and can be good. We just don't know.
Just right now it's not. It might as well not be in the game. So it does two things. One, it gives us a Shrima card, which means that we're getting one for every region. But if I was a Shrima player, I probably wouldn't be happy that this is the card I'm getting.
You call him Roji, he's crying.
It gives us sort of like a sneak peek into what the next expansion is, right? Like we're looking at this, it's like we're probably getting Nidalee. She's probably in Shrima. There's going to be like this cat synergy. Like there is cool information we got from this. Do you think that that's enough to justify this being in the set, or do you think it's 100% a mistake to include this card?
I don't think it justifies it. I think 100% of the reason, and this is my logic, the only reason they put this card in the set was to tease the next set. That's the only reason. The only possible reason was to show us, like, hey, Nidalee's coming. Hey, maybe Nico's coming. Nidalee's going to be in Shurima. Get hyped if you love Nidalee.
But there could be like some Nidalee follower that maybe, follower that's scared, it's 3-3, do something. Why don't they just that? Like...
No, I agree.
That's just my issue, because this guy just doesn't make any sense, right? And that's, I think, our issue. That's like this guy just doesn't make sense, and they even in the text, it's like it cannot be seen on the stream, but like that yet to release. Oh, it's actually you can see it. It's like have to yet to release, and like that's just like it's a cool tease and stuff, but like when it's the one of the cards that we gonna get in, then like it's kind of sad to see. But
like if it's a cat follower, like imagine the PNG cat follower was in like Shurima for some reason, the like created cat, blah blah blah, and it's like, oh, this happens to be a cat. It's a cat follower. We gave it the cat tag. Like, ooh, we have cat tags
maybe Nidalee
now,
in background, or something on the art, and the people are gonna be, oh my god, Nidalee is coming.
Yeah, but like, is the cat card in PNG playable? Like, no one's ever playing that card. But like, do you actively feel disgusted when you see it on your screen? It's like, no, which is what I feel when I see this card. I actively want to throw up.
And the fact that this card's in Shurima and there are 0 cats in Shurima is just like a little weird. It's just a little weird.
Yeah.
But
overall,
overall,
like literal unplayable.
Like, yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing that this card came out. You know, if it is just like a teaser, it just kind of sucks that it's taking a slot in this variety set. That said, I think a lot of these cards are really cool. I was freaking out on Twitter about Condense, which is the new Bandle card. I fucking love this card so much.
Yeah,
I've
design.
been in an argument for like days with Imtux. Imtux thinks this card is dog shit unplayable. Like it's a cool hit off of Concologist, I guess. I'm like, no, I think this card's broken.
Yeah, this card is gonna make like this is like one of the cards that like can make multiple archetypes honestly, and like it's so happy. I'm happy to see this guy because I think they are cool. They're gonna, of course, maybe break something, but it's fine, you know. I'm down to play this with the bulk, you know, something, you know.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I'm glad you just said that. I think this card is very good. I don't think this card is as broken as other people say it is yet because we have not found the broken thing, and everything other people have shown to me is not exciting. Like some of the best air quotes best thing I've seen people show me is like tie bulk or winding light or like Shellfolk is probably the best thing I've seen so far. But here's the thing, or like Cythria, right? And I think Micah put this great when he in his tweet about it was if the first Cythria did not win you the game, then like the second Cythria is probably also not winning you the game. And like Tidewalk,
fuck the Cythria Copers. Fuck the Cythria Copers.
No, but like okay, but like Winding Light, like what is this Bandle City Targon deck that we're playing?
Well, are we pretending Aphelios didn't exist?
Right.
So Aphelios is Aphelios?
Right. Aphelios is the best thing, but like Targon or this Winding Light is not like the greatest thing you can do most of the time in Aphelios, right? Like Aphelios, most of the time you just make like elusive units. Winding Light was never bad. I'm not trying to say Winding Light's bad.
There was literally a version towards the like right before Winding Light got nerfed. Fucking Ruben was fucking shitting on ladder.
Yeah, but Winding Light got nerfed.
Yeah, okay, but to be clear, we could still look at other fucking cards. Like, can we talk about like Double Karina is kind of fucking crazy and like makes Puff Caps look like a real fucking deck. Talk about the 6-mana one, not Karina Veraza.
Okay, I was gonna say the 6-mana one. Sure, yeah, I understand the play effect is really good. Yeah,
okay, yeah, or like Albus.
The issue with
Albus Pharaohs. There are so many like insane like 6 and 7 drop cards that just like become ridiculous when you can play them for 1 mana.
Yeah, so the Albus Pharaohs thing is anything that has like so that attack trigger, you can just kill it, right? Because it's a 1/1. So like yes,
who cares? He drew me double shock blast. He drew me 6 damage, and he pulled a removal for how much mana? Like I think this card's broken.
Yeah, 3 mana. I think pulling removal is kind of fake. I think this card's very, very good. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think we found anything that's broken him yet. I think everything that people have listed with this card seem like not bad, but the decks either suck that this card is in, or their like answer is like probably answerable. And I'm not saying it's bad because again, Condense like on the Pharaohs, I kill Pharaohs. I'm actually going to be up in like 1 mana, right? Let's just say I Mystic Shot your thing. So I'm up 1 mana in the trade, but you did get a Jace, which is like very good. Like 3 mana draw, second Jace, very good. But is that like game breaking? That's not what I would consider game breaking. I would consider that very good, but I wouldn't consider that like game breaking.
I don't need Condense to win the game for me itself. I think the card itself is still broken as fuck. When like the floor of this card, the actual floor of this card is like what 3 mana Concologist, or like I don't know if I use this on like Fan Club President, like how fucking good is that?
Yeah, anything with the play effect, I think is very good. Yeah, I think the card's like very, very good. Probably, I don't remember what all the cards, but I think I probably put it as like the best card in the mini expansion. It was very good.
If we're looking at like other broken cards, the Targon Pantheon card, this card's something.
Yeah, I don't think this card is nearly as broken as people think it is.
I think you are wrong, but
I mean, what is this issue with this card?
I think if this card costs anything other than literally 2 mana, it would be the most broken card we've ever seen. But it costs 2 mana, which means fitting it into like a Pantheon curve is really fucking hard because you want to target every turn after turn 2 on Pantheon. That's the only issue with this card. Yes. The thing is that this card's going to trade into 4 of your cards, and when it dies, it refills my hand with a Pale, a Guiding, and a Gem.
But,
and it's
so here's the thing though, is like why does it die? Because it doesn't actually fix like what the Pantheon issue is. The Pantheon issue is if it does get that big where it's requiring like a bunch of cards to kill it, like if your 1-drop got super big, then it's probably not being like too great. It refills your spells in standard, at least. A lot of spells aren't being thrown onto this thing at the moment, at least like in the current iterations. Of course, we're losing the Samir package, so we're probably going back to like Demacia, right? So like the cards you're getting are going to be a little bit better, but most of the time we're proccing Faded with like equipment and stuff like this. But also like I just don't need to kill this thing. There are definitely a lot of Pantheon games where they don't kill your 1 unit, right? And they just like kill you. Like champion strength deck would just like kill you. Other decks would just go around you and kill you. Karma decks just like palmed it, and they just like simply don't care. They recalled it. This thing doesn't say anything about getting recalled. Like this card doesn't like actually fix a lot of the progress that, or a lot of the problems that Pantheon had as a deck. It's just like better than the 1/1, and it can draw you some cards if they want to kill the thing, but by the point that you're wanting to spam a bunch of cards and get faded procs anyways, you kind of just have this like big Pantheon that your opponent's probably gonna have to deal with anyways.
I think the big thing with this card is you can make it relevant with stuff like Ayula or like Wandering Shepherd, like putting keywords on this. Right? Once you start throwing keywords on this card, it gets really fucking crazy. And like, I don't know, man. The first time that you have to like vengeance this card and it draws me a guiding touch as in like a fucking concerted strike or something or a single combat, like holy shit.
Yeah, but that's still like best case scenario, right? Like the best case scenario is you're getting like 3 real cards at the cost of like opponent's vengeance, and then like if it's not exactly that scenario, let's say you get like a gem back and your opponent like traded a unit in a single or something, like that's still like a not bad trade for you. But I don't think it's like as breaking as people think it is. Like I think like right now this card is just like strictly better than the 1-drop that we have in Faded, and then it like can draw you like a guiding touch and maybe a pump spell, but it's also like not too crazy because your opponent knows about it and can just like, I don't know. I just don't think it's as crazy as people think it is, especially in Eternal.
I think you're wrong though, but
that's fine. I mean, I also haven't seen this card do anything yet. I've watched people play it, and so far they've just gotten ran down by like.
Come on, most opening up Kavira's stream and watching them play the fucking.
No, I'm definitely not.
You're like, I don't know. This card seems kind of bad when I'm playing only fading.
No, I've seen. I watched someone scrim earlier today. They were playing a Demacia version of it with like Concerted Strike, Camphor, Vayne, and the other opponent was also playing Demacia, and they just killed them on turn 5. And it was just like this card did not help with that in this line, and that's what Pantheon lost to earlier, right?
I don't know if you know this, but you can actually block with the card. It's kind of good actually if you wanted it to
you can block with the card, and then you can block something else, but like. That's not anything special that other cards can't do, right? Like this card, the main point I'm getting at is this card a bad card? No, I think this card is good. But this card does not like make Pantheon broken because it does not fix what Pantheon's issues are.
I think you're gonna be super small. I'm telling you that, but
I mean maybe. I just don't think the card fixes what Pantheon's issues are.
I think it fixes exactly the issues of Pantheon, and that's like that you ran out of the spells in the late game. That's like always the issue of the Pantheon, that you had like multiple units in hand, faded units, and you had no spells for them, and this is exactly what the deck needed.
I think especially like non-Samir versions of Pantheon ran into that like quite a bit. The Samir Pantheon deck, if that's the most recent one you've seen, didn't run into that very often. Or like Pantheon Varus, like sometimes did. I think the other thing that you're going to see is a lot of people are going to run this card out on 2 and realize it doesn't do anything on turn 2. And it's going to look bad. But like when people start playing it on turn 3 with like shit backing it up, I think this card's.
I mean, but even then, that's not great, right? Like you run it out on like turn 3. What deck can't deal with this on turn 3?
I'm sorry. Have you ever tried to kill a faded unit ever?
Yeah, but they're usually bigger, no? Because it's either usually like a 1-drop that starts sooner. It's like a 1-drop that starts a turn sooner, where you don't have as much mana to kill it, or it's like something that has literally double this thing's stats, where it's like a.
Bro, if you pale, this thing has 4 health.
If you firm up,
but again, it's like turn 3, and you have like a bunch of mana, right? Or units.
I feel like the guy who's never played.
2-3? Wait, what?
Man, maybe I'm crazy.
You're
but we have thermal back.
Like,
he's gonna thermal this shit for 6.
No, I definitely just think this card's good. I think it's a very good card. I don't think the card's like broken by any means. I don't know.
We'll see.
I do think it's broken though, but we will see. I haven't tried it that much yet, so I may be wrong. I can see that. I guess time will prove that, but I definitely see that. Like, I think this is by far the best card of the expansion. Very close with Condense, and I think like they're the 2 best, like by far. Like I think the other cards are much weaker.
I think the other card that's like really broken that I haven't seen like a ton of people talk about is the Freljord card. The 3-mana 2/2 that improvises itself and then just like heals you 1 every turn. I think this card's like. I don't think this card's broken, but I think this card's really fucking strong.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I think this card can be strong. I think Blowback is way better than this card. I think Blowback is like a top 3 card in this. I think Blowback is insanely strong.
I think that Blacksmith is a 3/4 with text, but I mean, or a 4/2 tough with text.
I think Blacksmith is just like a good card the healing is like pretty good because it actually fixes what Ornn wants. But it still requires you to have like a bunch of improvised units and a bunch of stuff. Usually Ornn decks kind of play like few units that go really big and don't play out like a lot of units. But this does give you a way to kind of stabilize against aggro by one, having a body, and two, gaining like a little bit of like.
To be clear, you can like cycle weapons and heal once per turn with it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly right. That's what I'm saying. You actually have something to do with your weapons that actually matters.
So you don't have to play with Ornn. You can play this with like timelines. I think it's a good in timelines because if you don't get timelines, then you're still keeping the unit. And the unit effect is pretty good because you're playing combat cooks, you're playing the castaway, you know, and you like it's pretty good, I think. Especially in timelines.
I think the unit's just like I think this is like a 7 out of 10 card. It's not a 10 out of 10, so people aren't gonna freak out about it, but I think it's like a very good card.
Yeah, I underestimated myself, but when I played it today, I was like, holy, this card is much better.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most underrated cards out there. I still think Blowback is probably better. I just think Blowback is like insanely good. I think people are extremely underrating how good Blowback is. I actually think in both Standard and Eternal. Again, I think in Standard this makes Jinx Samira the best deck in the game, just because it fixes like the one issue Jinx deck had was it had no end game. It had no way to finish you off, right? Whereas like in traditional discard aggro, you had a really big overwhelm unit, and then you had like get excited to the face. And what this does now in Standard is it gives you burn damage to the face, and then it gives you like not overwhelm, but it gives you an extra attacker because you're clearing a blocker. So it gives you a way to get there on board while also dealing damage to the face, and that's like literally the one issue that Samira Jinx had, and it fixes that. And then in Eternal, you have like Draven Scion being back, which is really good.
I played that exactly today, and I was feeling so good in that deck because you have so many ways to discard in that deck, and like as well like. When I was playing it, it was feeling like 3 beam on us. So like it was like
that's literally what I was about to say.
Dealing damage. And like it was feeling so good on us.
Yeah, this card is 4 mana. Tri-beam is 4 mana Sermon. Whichever way you want to look at it, it's just like it's that you just like pay 4 mana, you deal some burn damage to the face, you remove a unit that's tempo, and then you discarded some cards to help you out with your like game plan. So it's like this card is literally just 4 mana, like Tri-beam or Sermon, whichever one you wanted to look at. Like it is a humongous tempo play.
Yeah, I played that in Iron, of course, but you know it's 100% win in 9 games, but it was feeling honestly pretty good.
I think you should drop me a list after, but I think it's a pretty good card. I think the other thing is a lot of people are looking at this like, oh my god, it's either worse Static Shock or I have to discard 3 cards. I have to play 3 cards because it's the one and you discard 2. I think that a lot of people don't realize you can just discard 1 and it's a Mystic Shot to face that also deals 2 to a blocker. Like I think this card's really solid.
Yeah, that's where I convinced. Who was I talking to? I was talking to Jordan, maybe. I was talking to someone on my team about the card, and they didn't like the card at first. And then I convinced them, or they convinced themselves because they looked at it and they're like, yeah, like worst case scenario, it's just like Static Shock without, Static Shock without a draw. But then like you can also just discard like a card. You know, if you don't have the hand space, you don't have the cards to discard, like literally just discard 1 card and the card's like good. You're removing a small, like a 1 to 2, possibly 3 drop, and then like Mystic Shotting their face, and then you're still progressing your discard game plan by discarding Vision, a 3/2 attacker, whatever it is you're trying to do.
And sometimes it's a fast speed Shock Blast, and as it turns out, fast speed Shock Blast is pretty okay.
Yeah, fast speed Shock Blast that also also just think of the nutty scenarios where you're like, this was fast speed Shock Blast that also discarded like 2 visions and gave me plus like 12 damage. Like it gave me plus 12 on board and then also like killed your unit and all this shit. Like it is insane. I think this card is one of the most underrated after the Feralio run. I think the Feralio run's underrated because people just think it's like mid. I think people actively think this card is bad or just like bonkers.
Yeah, it is standard card though, I think most than Athena because you have to get excited but yeah, maybe in Terrence and actually it's like standard, but so in Athena,
I don't think
but like it's much better in standard with Jinx. For Jinx, this is standard card, not the Eternal card, I think.
Yeah, I think in Eternal, you're probably not playing it with Jinx because you have Get Excited, and I don't think this really fits into discard aggro too much. I could be wrong. I think this card's like so good, it probably could. There's a good chance that you just like take out your big overall unit for this. I don't know. I also just don't think discard aggro is that good in Eternal, to be honest with you. But I think this like single-handedly makes Scion Draven like a top deck. Like minimum tier 2, close to like tier 1.5, 1.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are sleeping on this.
What about the rest of the cards? Like, is there something interesting? I think the breadth is something that is discussable, but like
I was gonna say, I think the one a lot of people are talking about is Altar to Unity, which is the
Okay.
Demacia card.
Yeah.
I think this is the most overrated card. This card is so dog shit.
Bad
Unless you're
timelines.
playing it on like
Bad
anything
timelines.
that's, I think something has to cost at least like 5 or 6 for it to be useful. Because on 1 through 4 mana, it's terrible. And the
No,
only
that's
thing
not
that like
true at
4
all.
mana that's good is like what, like the double Silverwing Challenger thing. I guess gets really big. I think this card is
No.
dog shit.
Okay,
No, I
okay
don't
with
think that's-
AIKADO. The card is
I don't think that's true. I actually think it's the opposite. I think the best cards cost 3 and 4 mana, and people that are looking at these like 6, 7, 8, 9 mana cards are like memeing all over the place. Unfortunately, I think that like this card is just strictly worse than Plaza, so you're never playing it.
Oh, it's a standard. It's standard only card. Standard only card.
Yeah, it's a standard only card, which makes it bad. Which I actually thought it was Eternal. I actually thought the opposite. I was like, oh, this is an Eternal only card. Until they printed Plaza, obviously. But with Eternal, the first thing I did was make Poppy, and this just makes Poppy a 4/4 or elusives. It makes all of your elusives
are
like
on turn 5.
Yeah, like this doesn't
yeah. I mean,
make
sometimes
sense
you're
with
not
Poppy.
attacking. Sometimes you're not attacking with Poppy until
But
odds
you
anyways.
spent 8 mana on 4/4 Poppy. What? Like
Yeah,
card
but it
is
also
so
goes with
dog shit.
elusives.
Like I cannot
No.
explain. I think this card is when okay.
Wait,
compare this
elusives-
card to timelines. Like look at this card and then look at timelines.
Yeah,
and, like,
I think it's
tell me
worse
like
than. I think it's like not as good as timelines. I think it works with champions. I think it can do things that timelines doesn't do. Whereas timelines like just turns good value cards into like potentially bigger cards, and this card can turn good value cards into strictly bigger cards.
But this issue
they're
of
like
this
doing
card
not
is-
the same.
is Demacia. Like
thing.
why is it in Demacia? Demacia has already good stats, and this card's
Yeah,
making
I mean,
it better. You know?
I
like-
definitely think it'd be better at other stuff, but there are just some like there's like very specific cards that could work with this. But the biggest issue, I don't think this card's like great or anything. I'm never playing this card. I just don't think this card is like a fucking 0 on the scale of 5. I think it's like a 2.5, maybe even a 3. Like I'm not calling it a 0. I'm also not calling it good because I would never play it. But this card's much better and has more applications that a lot of people are thinking, and the fact that like I think people are thinking about it wrong, like AIKADO said, put it with like a 4, 5, 6 coster. I think that's just like not how you play this card. Shows that I think there is something to do. Like if I had to play this card, I wouldn't be upset, but I would never
Well,
like want to play.
Like,
this card.
okay, what are we playing like Shadow Assassin? I guess our Shadow Assassin on turn 5 is a 3/3.
you have
kinda
Shadow
cool.
Assassin as a 3/3. You give like a minimum 1 HP to like every elusive, which is like
yeah, but
fine.
you could play Durant
Durant.
Sculptor. Doesn't that do the same thing?
Yeah, but you can do Durant Sculptor. You do both, right? Because it's like you're not always wrong. The landmark, like Durant Sculptor, does both, but the landmark's also harder to kill. There's other things you can do with it, like the bird is really good. You can get a 3
think
mana
the bird-
3/3 barrier. The
Cool thing you can do,
ranger.
Silverwing Diver. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
4/4
Silverwing
elusive
Diver.
tough.
Also, the
But then you're playing-
ranger.
Silverwing Diver in your fucking deck.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Silverwing Diver is not bad. It's not a bad.
Like,
card.
like the issue of this card is that the biggest payoffs are on the same mana as this card is, and I
Yes,
think
that
that's
is definitely the biggest issue with this card.
That's why I said spend 4, 5, 6. You're telling me don't spend 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, no, you don't spend 4, 5, 6 because then you're like doing that and you're only playing one at a time. The biggest issue is you can't curve out, but you don't want to be playing cheaper because if you go to turn 5 and you're playing like a 3 and a 2, that's way better than just like playing a 5 most of the time. But there's like a few other cards that work really well with this. I just don't think you ever need to play this card. Like I think just straight like there's the issue also is Demacia usually have buffs in itself, or you could play another region that has buffs that is just better than this. Like obviously we have Plaza now, but even without Plaza, you could have just played like Yordle Captain or whatever, right? And it's just better. If you're an elite and you want to play the birds cards, like just play your tutu. You know, like that's just like better than playing this card. And there are just so many cards that do what this card wants to do, just better. You don't need to play it.
exactly like
Yeah, I
timelines,
don't know.
especially timelines. Like because this card is uncounterable, opponent can aftershock it. If you play timelines, they need to have Nopify. If you have timelines on 1, they cannot have Nopify. So
To be fair, I will say that like it being a landmark, like sure we exist in a world with like more landmark removal. To be fair, we're also coming out of a meta where like Nasus Vaults is tier 1.5. So like I don't know, these landmark execs kind of exist.
Yeah, I think having the logic of like, well, they need to have Nopify is the same as like, well, they need to have like Aftershock, but they can have Aftershock like way later than Nopify. So I definitely think like landmarks can be removed, but like AIKADO said, I don't think landmark removal is so good or so overpowered that it's stopping landmark decks from being
I think
top
I
tier.
think by the way, there's funny shit you can do with this, right? Like 4 into like Mahira on like turn 5. That's pretty funny. People talk about the Freljord 6 drop to bust your entire deck. Making her a 6/6 is pretty
Yeah,
funny.
Revenant.
Yeah, but like
Revenant.
you just play like fucking timelines, right? Like that's the
Yeah.
issue with this card is you just
Okay,
play
but
like
timelines-
timelines.
Just play timelines.
Standard only. This is a standard only card.
Yeah, well then also like standard only, a lot of your cards are just bad. Like the best thing you can do with this in standard that I looked at was the 4-drop 3/2 challenger that makes the Silver Wings, right? Because then you get like a 4/4 challenger that also prints like 2 more 4/4 challengers.
Isn't it 5/5 then? Like I guess 5/5 and then gonna try then, but yeah.
Yeah, it's 5/5 when they pull or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that's like
But
that's like really the best thing you can do with this in standard. Like this card I was like gonna explore it in Eternal. Like there was a chance, like because you never know. Like giving +1 attack to stuff can be broken. You never know. But in standard, there's like no shot this card ever sees play in my
yeah,
opinion.
because timeline, I still okay. That's something I guess we didn't cover in the patch. Why did they revert timelines? Like, why?
I would probably the biggest timeline simp in this call. I brought timelines to Worlds, and like our team brought timelines to Worlds, and one of us qualified. Like we love timelines was good with it at 2. Like there was no reason to put timelines back to 1. I really do not understand. Like the only deck that timelines to 2 really hurt was Jax, but like Jax was the worst timelines deck anyway. Like I like literally timelines Vandal City was a better timelines deck than Jack was, and that deck does not matter.
Especially since we're going into a format that, you know what, still has Buried Nice and Infinite Stairs. Why the fuck are we buffing timelines?
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
And that's why I love the like cool build arounds, man. There's gonna be one deck, maybe there's gonna be Jax again or something that we saw in the past.
Oh my god.
But man, timelines, I think they were completely fine on 2 because I think that was something that we were accounting for even back in the time. We were like, okay, make them 2. And they were, I said, they were good even on the 2 mana. The decks were playable. But
Yes.
putting it on 1 mana, again, I honestly, this is the change that I don't understand maybe the most, honestly, from that patch.
And again, I think that like moving shit back to like full power is fine. I just wish there had been more changes like that. So I felt like
Exactly.
I had something fun I could play into timelines. But right now I'm looking at it's like timelines and Plaza, bro. I'm gonna go fuck myself, I guess. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to play.
Yeah, I mean, I think the downside is like we're going into Eternal. Excuse me, where they like predicted the format to be faster. That's why we got 4 mana Whale, right? Like they said, like, oh, we expect aggro to be really good, so we're putting Whale to 4 mana. And so, like, to be fair, aggro did fuck timelines like fairly hard. Aggro is specifically Demacia aggro, like really, really hurt timelines. That was the thing we were the most scared of going into Worlds. But not enough people were on. You guys remember the Quinn PNZ deck, like Quinn, Vayne PNZ,
The part
like
harp deck.
that. Yeah, like that deck posed timelines like really hard. Kane Vayne did when they played, because people played that elusive unit, right? And they would like just kill us with this elusive unit that we couldn't deal with. Like those Demacia aggro decks really, really hurt timelines. And we are going into a meta where Demacia aggro is going to be good. That being said, if Demacia aggro is not actually as good as they think it is, or aggro is not as good as they think it is, timelines is looking kind of absurd.
Well, to be fair, timelines, if I had to guess, probably doesn't beat a lot of like what Set Trundle is doing. But the issue is that Set Trundle's gonna be held back by Azir Irelia and aggro. Dude, I fucking hate it.
I haven't played Azir Irelia yet. I need to play that.
Azir got buffed for some reason,
Azir
and we're going back
Irelia-
into that format.
Someone told me earlier, they were like, oh, I think, like, because I predicted Azir Irelia was going to be, like, one of the best cards or one of the best decks in Eternal before we had the announcement of the really big patch. I was like, oh, yeah, Azir Irelia, easy. Like, literally any tier 1 deck people are thinking of, like, the Set Trundle deck, stuff like this, like, Azir Irelia just fucking cooks. But Plaza absolutely destroys Azir Irelia. Like, without a fucking doubt. Plaza literally makes you not play your cards. Like, I can play Plaza, and I can just, like, open pass. And you can't just, like, pass back to yourself, play something on your turn, because you'll never kill me that way. And it's just, like, you literally cannot play cards into my Plaza deck ever, or you lose the game. And it's just, like, Plaza is insane.
Plaza is such a fucked up card, dude. And you know what? If they did all this, if they decided, fuck it, let it burn, and reverted like Temple, I wouldn't be complaining right now. I'd be like, I'll play my Temple deck, you play your Plaza deck, we'll see who comes out on top. But it feels like we got half measures. It feels like we got buffs to half the meta, and I'm just sitting here and like nothing I like got buffed. So
you know what I think it is? You know what I think it is? I think the devs were playing a game of poker, and they probably got really drunk and said, hey, if I can win a hand with 2/7, I get to buff any card in Eternal. And someone won 2 hands with 2/7. And so they chose that.
Yeah, Poppy player.
That's what I think happened.
So,
Yeah, I think it was probably Verus. Verus probably won 2 hands at 2-7, and was like, "Yeah, fuck it, dude."
And two people was like, "Man, no."
Yeah. That's probably what happened.
Can you imagine if they reverted Nami and just like rotated her? Like, we could have shit to compete, but we just don't have shit to compete. I feel like.
If they reverted Nami and we could have like SI Nami, there's a chance we could win there. Even that, I don't think it's true because we just have like they go Plaza pull your Nami and Nami doesn't buff herself.
We can cope.
But you could try, right?
I have tools. I have an option. But now I'm just like, bro, I guess I'm gonna play a flock deck. I guess I'm just gonna play.
You're like, I'm playing Noxus, and I'm just gonna hope no one fucking 2-heads me and tries to play, control or something.
What is the flock deck? Is it Birdman again, or what?
It's just Broadman. So I actually pulled up, getting ready for this. Our team just pulled up a bunch of articles and videos of like what the meta was before rotation happened. So we pulled up like the Master Runeterra meta by stats, and we pulled up like my meta Monday. And on both those, the top decks were like Annie Jin, Katarina Broadmain, Nora Broadmain. Elite was like hella insane because it was right before they ate their 2 nerfs. Lux Jace was really good. Just these like big mid-range packages, but the best flock decks were still like Kat, Annie Broadmain was doing really good. The PNZ Broadmain was doing really good. Of course, that was with buffed Drum Solo and buffed Caustic Rift. And then the Gnar Broadmain was doing really good. And that deck actually didn't have anything nerfed in it. If anything, it got stuff brought. I had Palooza go to focus speed, but it was doing well even after that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
With like Pokestick, I think that like Gnar Broadmain's like Nora Broadmain is probably just gonna like fuck again. But the losing Drum Solo, because like what that deck would do is it would Drum Solo and it would hold on to like 0 mana Disintegrate the entire game.
Yes.
And it just can't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that deck definitely got hurt more than the Nora Broadmain deck, but I think it's still like I think that deck is still good enough to beat Demacia. Like I think it's still good enough to beat any Demacia deck.
I think that deck didn't beat Elites. And Elites, to be fair, Elites was broken, but that deck didn't fucking beat Elites.
I was gonna say, to be fair, Elites played like would fill their board on turn 3 with like 3/3s.
Right, it was
and that's like
up.
before you could do stuff. So
yeah, Plaza.
But Plaza's not doing that, right? Because they're like playing Plaza on 3, and then you can also like blow it up or something. But unless they're going like Plaza on 3 into double trouble, then we're like.
Do you know what card got like? Do you know what card is like back in Eternal? Is fucking Rangers Resolve. I think Rangers
that's why
Resolve
like Whale
with,
to Floor is
Plaza. Dude, Whale. Surely the aggro decks can't just play X2 units, right?
Yeah.
So I put out like a best 5 decks like video today, and one of them I put out was Pirates, and in my Pirate deck I put in like Pigeon, Rearguard, and I put in the Plunder guy.
Butcher.
I put in Butcher. So those were my 9 1-drops. And I was like, I know the number one question or comment is going to be like, why didn't you put in Saboteur? And it's because we're getting Vile Feast back, we're getting Pokestick back, and Withering Wail just went to 4 mana. And it's just like, if there are control players out there, they're going to be Giga Coping and playing Vile Feast and 4 mana Withering Wail. So there was not a single 1 HP unit in my deck except for the Spider that House Spider generated. Everything else in my deck was 2 or 3 HP.
And you know what card just got more health? Draven. Bro, everything's gonna. What is Whale gonna do?
So
like
bad.
4 mana Whale. I saw like Nick. I'm not trying to rag. I know ragging on Nick's like a meme. But he's put out like Draven looks really good. Demacia like looks really good. Whale is kind of scary though. And I'm just like, dude, you just listed like two archetypes. Like 5 decks that just absolutely do not give 2 shits about Whale. And that's what I tweeted. I was like, if you're scared of Whale, you're an NPC. Because like Withering Wail is just not a card. It was not a card beforehand. The issue was not the 1 mana. It was the issue that like every deck just had 2 HP units or cards to deal with Withering Wail. Just like
it's gonna be much better though. Like it's a good buff.
The buff could matter, and like it was probably good. And and combined with like Vile Feast, like you could play Whale plus Vile on turn 3, right? Like you can do cool stuff. But yeah, I don't think it on its own is like saving us.
One of the curves you could do is you can play the like Keg Girl if you're in like Bilgewater at Shadow Isles, like if you're playing some like Go Hard style deck. You can curve like Keg Girl and units and still play Whale on 4 mana cheaper. Now like on turn 3, you can go Keg Girl on 2 and then just immediately Whale on 3 if you need to for 2 damage across the board. That's not something you could do before. So like there are times where the 1 extra mana is going to matter, and that's going to be cool. But I just think with the tools that were buffed and the tools we're given, most decks are not going to care about whale in a meaningful way.
Is there any card that we didn't touch is also interesting? Because, for example, I think like things like Promoter, I don't see this card ever getting played.
No.
Indari, I don't see this also card seeing play, honestly, because we don't have.
I actually think that
resources
card
for
is
it.
really good. I think Captain and Dari is really good. I think the card is insanely slept on. I think people forget that Forge just simply means give your units +1/+1. And like there are some aggro decks that could just like use getting like this really big unit that could potentially have overwhelm or potentially have a good keyword and then also give your units +1/+1. Do I think the card's like actually like good? Probably not. Especially with like the nerfs we just saw to Samira. I'd be very surprised if there was some sort of like pirate-esque aggro deck out there, but I definitely don't think this card is bad.
I don't
And
know.
it's just Genevieve.
It's
like
very
literally
Genevieve. I don't know. Like that's my issue.
Yeah, but that's good. But that's good, right? Like we're pretending
be.
Genevieve's bad, like it's okay.
And
It's like,
fine.
it doesn't have home, I think. So this card, that's my issue. Like, where are you gonna play it?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. It would be some like pirate deck that you're like, I don't have GP in standard anymore, and this is like your
It's so mid-rangey though. Like we just haven't seen like this go wide plunder deck. Like all of the plunder decks we played since Samira came out have been like these bullshit, burn decks or elusive decks. So like we haven't really seen us like build a deck that this could fit into. And like maybe when we build one, like what this card has, the text on it is pretty good. But it's just like, where do you put it?
Yeah, it might be
Exactly.
some Dundee deck.
Quite a few cards
like Noxus Dundee. Dundee is a very good card, so I wouldn't be surprised to see.
The Samir 3-drop that gives like Brash to a 1-drop.
Yes.
I think that card's really good.
I agree.
So like maybe there's something there. Maybe.
I think you play some like weird mid-range plunder. I think the hardest thing in mid-range plunder always is finding a way to trigger plunder. And a lot of the really good plunder activators that we used to have just like don't exist anymore.
The other
we're
thing
basically limited to like warning shots and stylish shots.
The other thing that's really cool about this card is that it's improvise on it, but it's also a weapon master, which means it's a Jax card.
Yeah.
And Jax probably likes this card. I don't know if there's like a low to the ground Jax deck that still exists. Orin doesn't want to play this card.
Jax Vayne, maybe.
Yeah, but like something like Jax Vayne, like potentially could use this card.
But like then, like how to perk plunder? Though, that's my issue with Jax. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You need to,
the fact that you have to plunder it. Well, we'll figure out a way.
Yeah, definitely. So what we have next? We have the bird. I don't know what to think about this card. I think like this card's feeling pretty good, honestly. But also like I don't know. I don't know.
We don't have enough cards to play with it. I think the only cards that we could play with it is like the Challenger 4-drop. So you curve like 4-drop into this. One, you're playing Demacia Ionia, which hasn't been a deck in 4 years, okay, that's a deck. It is a deck. Okay, I'll give you that. That is a deck. But the bird thing is just like giving it quick attack is kind of whatever. It does. I think the 4-drop that gives it +1/+1 is probably better because you're at least giving it HP and you're not just running into like any ping spell at all. Yeah, 4-mana whale. Yeah, I assume this is like standard, but. Yeah.
I mean, giving quick attack to things is like good. There's a reason that like Harp on Valor was like game winning. Yeah. But at the same time, like this card costs 5 mana and it's stuck to a unit, which like just makes it a little. We'll see.
It's just too expensive, I feel like. But I think it's honestly kind of interesting, and I wouldn't be surprised if we found some decks or something. So,
I mean, quick attack is strong. Quick attack's a good keyword. So. I don't even know what all the birds are. I haven't even gone through. Not only have I not played a single game, I haven't even like opened up the client and crafted the new cards and looked to see what the
we have these birds, I guess.
I literally updated the client in this call to look at the new cards or the new starter decks. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, so this is other birds. Like we have, of course, like the Demacia. I don't know if Valor. I guess it's Valor.
So, like Fleet Feather and Valor are both birds. Silverwing Flight or whatever the 4-drop is.
Diver,
that's a bird.
Vanguard.
Is Diver a bird? I thought isn't it like a griffin?
No, it's a bird.
Really?
You can see on my stream now. I'm showing it.
Yeah, it's a bird. For sure, it's a bird.
No, it's not. It's a fucking.
It's literally called Silverwing, man.
Silverwings
are birds.
Isn't Silverwing just like that's like saying it's an elite?
No, Silverwing is like a type of bird.
Even Vanguard is like Silverwing. What?
Like if you go, like, there's a TFT Little Legend called Silverwing. Like that's what it is. It's like a fucking. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're
I don't
right. You're
know.
right.
Yeah, but obviously it's just like Demacia, right? Like when I'm looking at it, like it's just Demacia. Like there's one bird in Ionia, there's one bird in two birds.
Azir, you give Azir quick attack. Hog.
Anivia with quick attack, Pog? Oh my
Oh,
god.
Anivia. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I saw someone was like, dude, we can give Anivia a quick attack so she can kill her blocker. And I'm like, what blockers, man?
Holy
I'm just putting my 1
base.
HP unit in front of you.
But yeah, it's just
Um,
Demacia. Why is it even in Ionia?
It's a great question.
no. But yeah, I'm
I-
excited tonight.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm excited to play tonight. I think I'm gonna have to dip. Obviously, you guys can keep going, but I'm really excited to play. I'm really excited to see what kind of decks end up being good. AIKADO and I are gonna scram a lot on his stream tonight, so we'll see how
I
those
guess we
games
can just
go.
like fast do the 2 cards and then we can call it, I guess, a day.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll
Brave
do whatever.
Companion, not the best card, let's be honest. I think aside mostly like the Shadow's package isn't good. As but this card is just too slow in my opinion.
Yeah, Shadow Isle unit-based decks don't exist. So
I like the buff that was.
Isn't Vaults like a deck right now?
no, because this doesn't work with that, right?
I know it doesn't work with Vaults, but like Shadow Isles absolutely said union-based mid-range decks.
Yeah.
I don't think this deck.
That's
I think
really-
this card is like. I think this card's like really fucking slow. But like Inferna was a 1/5, and Inferna was broken as fuck. Inferna also drew you cards. It's basically Inferna.
Yeah,
Inferno
it's
drew
bad
multiple
Inferno.
cards.
Yeah.
It's
It's very
basically
Yeah, off
multiple
of
cards.
a whole
These cards
different
aren't
type.
cheating. It's so good.
Yeah, honestly, this card is kind of broken. I think.
Yeah,
I
actually,
think
it's,
I'm
yeah, it's just
playing-
Inferno. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
this
good.
card's
good
actually
nerfed.
just better Inferno.
Yeah, actually.
Bro, you hate if you glimpse it draws you 3 cards. Holy shit.
Wait, does it? Does it work?
Not if you glimpse it. You have to glimpse
Well,
something.
glimpse something else.
Yeah, I thought they're gonna play Companion into Glimpse and like be 6 mana draw 3. Yeah.
That
Fix
sounds
mana,
OP
draw
actually.
3.
But the last.
Cobra, I think Cobra has funny memes and like is probably like the content creator card.
Yeah.
No, I think Cobra's like good. I think
Oh,
this
you?
card's like dead ass. I think it's actually good. Yeah.
How do you play
7
it?
mana,
You
dude.
just play it. You just play it with like cards. Like you just play it with units. It literally just like doubles any unit. It just doubles stats. Like you could play this in a lot of mid-range decks. I think this card's just like good. I think it just
Yeah,
doubles any. It's like Mirror Mage. Like imagine Mirror Image card, but like it was actually a good card, and that's what this is.
Mirror Mage costs 8 mana.
Yeah, and this costs 7, and also doesn't require the card to be like created.
Yeah, it
Oh
also
my
copies spells.
Yeah.
This doesn't.
Well,
I-
I don't think
This
this is
card's,
good at
actually-
all. This is not good at all. Trust me.
It only copies one thing per round or per turn. Like
Yeah, like it's 7 mana, do nothing, and then next turn maybe do something, man. I don't think the meta is
No,
gonna
okay.
be like slow enough. Like I'm gonna play Poppy on you and like rally on you, like.
Okay, I'm
No,
also
you're
not
missing
talking about
the point.
Eternal. I don't think you're playing this in Eternal at all. I think it's definitely a standard card, and you can easily play this in like some sort of like coin deck or whatever. You're playing like this, then you play like a coin. You play the coin heal person, and you get like 2 coins off of it. You can do stuff like that. Like you can get a bunch of stats. I think it's definitely a way to like just have a board like break boards if you need to.
if you Cobra and then play Jury Rig, then you get 2 Jury Rigs. It's so
That's
good.
true. You get 2 drops. You get 2 units for 1 mana.
I think sometimes I will check Twitter, and if I know that one person's really excited about it, I'm not gonna say who, but if I see one person excited about the card, I know the card's dog shit. And there's a couple people coping on my timeline about Cobra, so I feel like this
Okay,
card's
never mind.
dog shit.
All right, maybe I take it back then.
Okay. But I guess we covered everything. But how? I guess last question. How are you excited about the plan? Because I am kinda. I'm excited to play.
Yeah,
Because I was playing
I'm
a set and like, man, it was so fun to see the cards again, playing Aphelios again, playing Azure
Mhm.
again. It was fun.
Yeah,
I just wanna
I'm one of
play
those where I.
Pokemon.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to play Pokey again. That's all.
Play Poké. Yeah, I like the more powerful formats. Like in Magic the Gathering, I was a fan of like Modern and Legacy, which were the more like broken, more powerful formats. I really like that, so I'm excited to play for that reason. Yeah, I'm excited to play tonight again. I'll be playing over on AIKADO stream with him. I don't know what decks I'll be trying out. Probably like Timelines, Poppy, and Draven Scion. Maybe I'll cook something new, but probably just want to limit test those 1st. So
So thank you guys for coming in and kick by.
Thanks for having me, guys.